completely different now. Because now it's like, you know what? We know you're one of the greats. You got to go hoop. So, for instance, like the Bulls lost yesterday. We're not really talking about Giannis like that because we're like, you know what? Giannis can still get the job done. But if Giannis was to drop 10, 5, and 8, we'd be talking about Giannis right now just like KD because we hold them guys in the same conversation. Like, for instance, I think I was in the space that you brought up, I was listening about Trey Young and him playing bad and stuff like that. Me personally, before the season before the playoffs began, I had Trey Young in the same tier as Luca. Like I thought he was like 1A, 1B. 1A, 1B for sure. Now, Trey, him playing bad is just like, you know what? Hey, I hold you to a different standard. So the expectations are completely different. Like I expect you to be good. And he's not showing that. So it's just like keeping the same energy when we talk about these players. It may sound like slander, but I don't view it that way. I don't view it that way at all. And that whole LeBron stuff, hey, don't let's just keep him in his own tier. You know, we know where he's at.
Yeah, good stuff, but the Luka Trey Young stuff. But Trey Young is another example right there. And I know regular season versus postseason and X, Y, and Z, but this is a guy who a lot of people are debating what all NBA team he should be on. Should he be first team all NBA and X, Y, and Z? And then you go out there and do that. I just think that in other situations we've held first team all NBA guys to different standards, to different expectations. They had to do different things. They couldn't go out like this. They couldn't perform like this. Um, and I just don't. I don't know. They would get talked about in other situations, but when Trey Young is doing it, everybody's pretty quiet. But I don't. You know what's crazy? I think that that's the general consensus. But a lot of people already see Trey Young for what he is. So that's why I don't think he'll be first team. And that's why I don't think he made the. That's why he didn't make the All Star game not too long ago. Is because the real see what the standard for Trey Young should be. Um, and that's not first team All NBA, All Star, all this stuff. This and the third. It's Kevin Love.
I'm just having trouble.
What, nigga?
I'm just having trouble like finding players that you can replace Jokic. Like put them in a similar situation as Jokic right now, and they wouldn't be in a similar situation. Like you have your two best players out going up against a championship contender, and you're down 0-2 when the first two games are on the road. I mean, I just don't think it's anything to really bring up. It's not really that surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know who making something out of this. Maybe Giannis. I don't know. He can get like a game or two probably, and then like probably Joel could get like a game. But I think Jokic's probably gonna get a game too.
So
Is
as soon as
what I feel
Jokic
about.
gets that one game, this whole conversation is null and void, essentially.
I think that's how a lot of people think. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think they just be tripping about that MVP getting swept. Like, bro, I mean, if he gets swept, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't care, but like, nigga, you lost at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't matter 4 or 7, bro. Like, you lost. That matters to some people, I guess.
I think it's just comparing him to the level of the greats that we've seen already. So you've it's like writing checks that these players can't cash, in my opinion. Um, and I hate that it's Jokic because like I said before, it is unfortunate that he doesn't have his best players, hasn't had them for the majority of the year, and he's probably going to win MVP again. And I think this also ties into the fact that the MVP, the entire MVP award and its voting process is just flawed to a T. I don't like it. I don't rock with it. But it's just more so like, when you compare these guys to these level of these greats that have their careers cemented and have done great things, and you try to say that they're better than them, then hey, you gotta wow me. You're gonna have to show me something. Because I believe, if I remember this, you might fact check me on this, Bsolz. The Rockets in '95 were a 6 seed, correct? They
Mhm.
were a 6 seed, and they made it to the finals. Now, again, he did have Clyde Drexler. I don't know if Clyde Drexler was an All Star that year. He might have been. I know they traded for him, but the year before he had no All Star teammates. Had some good role players, of course, but it's just like these guys have proven themselves consistently throughout their career, whether it be them getting to the first round with no help, getting to the second round with no help, just being dominant to a different level. And Jokic has done that. But when you try to put that guy above this guy's career, above what this player has done in their entire career already, then you have to show me something. The bare minimum is not enough, which is it's unfortunate because again at the end of the day we watching these games. The Golden State is clearly better, but it's just like what people are putting out there, and it's like you know what, keep that same energy when you're critiquing these guys as well. Because like I said before with the LeBron thing, LeBron nobody thought about LeBron being the greatest player, like the greatest small forward of all time until he actually won. You had to win before we even start giving you that title.
But who is comparing? Maybe I missed it, but is anyone comparing Jokic to even?
Jokic to Kareem or Hakeem.
Hakeem,
Yeah,
I
I mean
said
the
Kareem.
only
I'll apologize if I said Kareem. I meant to say Hakeem. Hakeem.
no
No,
no
I
I
said either of
Yeah.
those. Either of those.
Yeah, I've
Because
seen I've
Jokic
seen that.
Kareem
I've
is
seen
good.
that. I'd have to go find clips. You can find multiple like accounts on NBA Twitter. But it's not crazy like to see like especially in today's era with people using like certain advanced stats to go ahead and push a narrative. Because I ain't gonna lie, I made a video on Jokic last year about how his MVP season was one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time. And looking back at that video, I was like, you know what? It could have been better, but there's some things that I didn't like. But the offensive ratings and those type of things, you can really push a narrative saying like, hey, he's one of the best offensive big men we have ever seen in this game, especially when you take into account the era that we're playing in right now. So I've seen that. I've seen people legit say that he's arguably better than Hakeem. But
maybe
when
off
I said, I'm
even
sorry, go ahead. Go
Probably
ahead,
more
before.
talented, maybe, but I don't
the
know.
arguments I've seen is like Jokic being the most talented offensive big of all time. But even then, I don't really see like how
No,
series or
nah, yeah,
the
yeah,
the Sun series last year like is proving that wrong. I don't.
yeah. Tubbs probably the best offensive center ever. Not just big man in general, but saying he better than Hakeem is pretty fucking crazy. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
but
lie.
you can honestly use different. I'm trying to think of a different example because I don't want to use Jokic because it's a fuck situation from the jump. But like oh man, like when I hear like this probably doesn't work, but when I hear like this skill debate, players saying that so and so is the most skilled player of all time, it's like man, are you saying that he's just offensively talented? Like he what his game just looks nice? Because basketball plays two sides to the ball. Like you can't just tell me that one player is more skilled than the other because what they can score in different ways. It's a two-way game, of course. So when I see that, it's like, you know what? Well, I don't agree to that. So I'm gonna look at what I'm seeing on the court. For instance, Kevin Durant yesterday. It's like, how where are you guys getting that from? When there's two sides, not even Kevin Durant. I've heard it more for Kyrie being the most skilled player of all time. And I'm just like, I don't see it for me personally.
They just want to use that skill word because it just sounds better than just
That's probably
saying.
what it is too. That
Isn't
yeah.
defense a skill?
They want to give somebody the best something.
I actually do want to have that conversation. Do y'all think defense is a skill?
Like staying in front of
Absolutely.
someone,
Yes.
like
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
Kyrie is
That
not that.
absolutely.
absolutely.
Being able to be at the right moment at the right time to make the right play on defense is absolutely a skill.
Like, bro,
Yeah, making the right rotations, the timing of certain moves that you do.
Getting
That's skills
into
that you can
passing
the
lanes.
literally
same
train.
guards.
Getting into passing lanes, that's skills that you
Yeah.
get.
That
Just
shit
like
is not easy.
basketball. I don't know why that isn't considered a skill. Same thing with the off ball movement and passing.
Like
That's
we've seen
why
it
LeBron's
with like
AD like easily.
we've seen it with Wiggins. Like when he was in Minnesota, he had all the tools. It's just he didn't have the skill to do it at the time on defense.
Cause yeah, some players have like you said, players have the tools to be good defensively, but there's times where it's just like, you know what, they just don't have it. Like sometimes it's just like they don't know where to be at the right spots because when you think about it, bro, every guy right now in the league is tall, lanky, has a long most of the time have a long wingspan. If they wanted to play good defense, they could do it. but you just have to have like the skill set, and most of it comes with the IQ too, like you said, knowing where to be at a certain moments. Like um, Tony
and
Allen,
the motivation
Tony
too.
Allen too, like one of those guys who's undersized, was still, I believe, in that Memphis Grizzlies era, he made like 6, 7 straight defensive teams. So you don't have to be super big and super tall just to be a great defender. If you know where to be at the right time, you can definitely wreak havoc. And people don't really want to respect that, but shit, I mean, hey, that's their own base. If they like the tween crossovers with the sidestep lay, have at it. That's up to
And
you.
it's crazy because people say Giannis has no skill, but he's a great defender. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the Giannis no skill is just, I'm not. Yeah, it's whatever at this
It's,
point.
I
It's
don't
just
even
whatever at this
say
point.
that.
it's a lot of Harden fans who say that.
Harden's washed.
I can't. I'm gonna chill on that. I'm gonna chill on that. I'm gonna chill on that.
Like, bro, how you foul it out, bro? He fouled out as a guard.
Hmm? Um, I heard the whole Jokic conversation, and I looked at that team or whatever, 93, 94, 94, 95. The team with Clyde even. They look very similar. Um, I know different things happen, but my conversation wasn't even necessarily about Jokic. Jokic does get some flack though for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, but I feel like we're just not realistic about these people. It's quiet about James Harden right now.
But I just
It's
said that.
quiet
Big game
now.
James.
I just
Now
said
I do honestly believe that like something is wrong. He might be hurt or whatever the fuck it is. He just does not look like the same Harden that left Houston. And that was not that long ago. So if the decline is that steep, boy oh boy.
Didn't he have a good game last game?
eh,
He fouled out.
He
right.
fouled out, but like I think James Harden right now is just like, it was the problem with James Harden is the fact that everybody remembers James Harden dropping 30, 40. And now that he can't do that, it's like crazy enough. The level that we hold him to, he's just not there no
Well, he's
more.
in a different role. He's not. He's not trying. He's not
Yeah,
this.
yeah. His role is completely different now. Like,
He had 19 points, Bsolz.
I'm
19
glad
and
someone
10.
said it.
But
But
also,
what I'm
he doesn't really like take his body seriously.
But he doesn't
I'm
look out of shape though.
I'm saying he just doesn't look like explosive even. Like he doesn't look explosive or quick.
Yeah, he doesn't have that quick first step like to get to the pit. I didn't
You
see that.
can't
Ever
you
since he
can't
got
put
injured,
body
he doesn't have that quick first step.
That's
Can
that's
I
what
say
I'm saying.
something real quick about Harden? Because that's my favorite player.
That's
Ever
that's a
since he
tough
left
life.
Houston, bro, like he don't gotta dominate no more. So why should he have to?
I
He
mean, he
does
left
have to.
the Nets.
He does
No,
have
yeah,
to.
I'm
Bro,
about to say
In order,
I
in
don't
order
I
for
don't
the Sixers to win the championship, him and Embiid have to dominate.
right. I
Maxie
was
going crazy though.
Maxi is stepping
bro,
up, and Tobias Harris isn't playing that bad as well. You know what I
James
mean?
Harden has to be the second best
Last
player.
night, Tyrese Maxey didn't go crazy, and they definitely could have used Harden.
Like,
I'm not
bro,
saying he just doesn't have to do
I'm
anything,
doing
but like the 35, bro, like niggas is still asking about that.
like 25
obviously
and
not
10.
35, but like cool. I don't know, like
A
20,
cool
20,
25, 26
24 to
points.
24 to 26 on like really good true shooting.
Well,
I
19
feel
and
you,
10
but
ain't bad.
9
we
assists
all
a game.
know Harden be jacking that motherfucker up. That doesn't
19,
take away
19,
from
19 and 10 ain't bad, bro. Tony
him
had three
having to score
turnovers
more
too.
points.
The
But
assist to
Harden does
turnover
jack that
wasn't bad as
motherfucker
well.
up.
And if that's the case, I guess that's where we're moving the post
Needle.
for him. Yeah, if we're moving it for Harden, then that's fine. Let it be moved. So now Harden isn't that guy. He needs to be down there with like the Chris Middletons.
All
Um,
right.
Gotta stop it.
And
but I'm being
all time compared to Clyde Drexler more.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Why is he in the conversations with like Kobe and Wade and stuff like
I
that?
feel
Why
Yeah,
is he
like
he's
it's
not?
more
there.
of the
Why is he not with?
seasons.
Why not AI, Clyde Drexler, and all them?
I feel like with Harden, it's more of the season than his overall career. Like the
Yeah, I
seasons he
think
was
it's
great, they compared that to the seasons that other players were great. Or like, and then they were just like, "Oh, he's gonna do this forever," and then he didn't, and now people are just like, "Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure Philly asked him if they wanted 40 points back to back. I'm pretty sure he could get at least 30 points. You know what I'm saying? But he just
Yeah, for
can't.
sure.
Not explosive anymore. He used to be able to explode off that first step, so so they couldn't guard him. So he would be able to hit step back, but he's too slow now. Well, his liver is pretty bad now because he's drinking Listerine with the baby and
I'm
in the
I'm
club.
being
Even even,
I'm
even where
being
the state right now, though, no cap, the Nets could use Harden. Nets could
that's
use
what
The
I
him.
thought.
Yeah,
Nets or the
can't
Sixers?
guard it.
The
I
Nets.
mean, but I mean they definitely could. That team is depleted. Apparently Ben Simmons is coming back for game
But
4, but
adding Harden,
He's
they
not
still have
gonna
a
do
terrible
shit, bro.
You
defense.
think Ben Simmons is gonna help them more than hurt them?
No,
No, hell
you
no.
know what's
We haven't
crazy?
seen him play basketball in a
bro.
year. We don't
You
know
We
what
can't
but
he's
bro.
gonna
when we
look
Look,
like.
did
especially
last
Ben
time we
Simmons in
did,
the
he was terrible.
playoffs.
You know what's crazy, Bsolz? I wanna see how I haven't really gotten a chance to see how like Boston and the Nets play. How are they using Seth Curry? Because I feel like maybe they may be misutilizing Seth Curry, but I'm not trying to say I want Seth Curry over Harden, but being serious with y'all,
I ain't gonna lie.
But
Jalen Brunson or Harden right now.
Oh my
it's because
god.
Jalen Brown.
the last game the Nets played, they were using Seth Curry. My bad. They were using Seth Curry and having ball movement, and then in the second half they were just resulting to isolation.
Because
Yeah,
their
they
defense
they
is too
result
good.
to KD and Kyrie ISOs way too much.
Yeah, their
Man,
Well, they
entire
but
don't really
team,
have a good
their
coach. They
bench
can't
unit,
really make plays because their coach doesn't know anything about
their
it.
bench is
their
weak
bench
and they
unit,
have no defense.
I know
their
neither.
bench has actually done like I ain't gonna lie. Offensively, the last 2 games, maybe I'm tripping because maybe in the fourth quarter they've been mid, but they've been keeping them alive most of the time in the
Yeah,
game.
their defense has
Okay.
actually been really good.
Yeah, their bench
Bruce
has like done
Brown.
their job, but like when you bring in Ben Simmons, someone's gonna have a reduced role. It's probably gonna be Dragic, and I'm just like Dragic when I'm looking at him play, especially like in that second quarter, he kept that lead alive for them, bro. Like he's legit another playmaker on the court who can get others involved and stuff like that. You bring in Ben Simmons, and no Ben Simmons is like an all star, but like,
He's a
wait, are we
hurtful.
sure? Are we sure he's
He's a
ready? That's
hurtful.
my thing, because like
Is
Nigga,
Ben
phase
Simmons
out.
him?
if
Nigga,
I'm Ime,
they need to phase out 3 points a game Patty Mills. What are you talking about?
Nah, man.
True.
Boston's
Ooh.
defense is just too good, man. The way they're able to switch on everyone.
I ain't gonna lie. If I'm Udoka, I'm legit fouling Ben every
I'm
possession,
not gonna
every
lie, they
Oh
did say
possession.
shit.
they
If
had
the Nets are banking on a Ben Simmons that hasn't played in a year and
Then they're in
you don't
trouble.
know
thank
how he's
At
gonna
the
you.
fit with
second
this
off.
team,
That's
Thank
crazy.
oh
you.
man,
What
oh
they're
man.
thinking
But
is
at
right
the same
now,
time,
what
though,
they
the
need to
series
win
is
a game
going
right
back
now,
to
what they're
Brooklyn.
hoping is Katie and Kyrie both need to get 30 points for them to win a game. So they're already in trouble. When you bring in Ben Simmons, it's a sweep. He will get them swept. I guarantee you. They will
Also,
get
I
swept.
don't know why, but like KD refuses to drive to the rim.
Oh, I guess because of his
It's
injury,
so
man. He
funny.
doesn't have enough rim pressure no more. Like he doesn't exert that much rim pressure ever since that
Yeah,
injury happened.
KD does stop a lot, like halfway towards the rim and
No,
just
but
pull
he
up.
can't even get past like a fucking like Al Horford
Exactly.
or Grant Williams. Like
He's
Aging
only
out.
going in for open dunks. He can't go in and go for layups anymore.
I mean, but when his midi is that green, it hasn't been. But when it is that green, it's like shit. Might as well pull
Now
Yeah,
the
that
but
shit.
back
it,
and
for
Golden
the
it
You know what
most
I'm
State,
skilled
hasn't
saying?
been.
player, for the most skilled player of all time, sounds like he's relying a lot on
yeah,
his athleticism, bro.
Back in Golden State, he was able to drive to the paint. But ever since that Achilles injury, he's just been what's called relying on the mid range. He just keeps shooting it. That's why
Sounds
he's
like
been
he was relying on the best Jason of all time.
exactly. I think he was relying on the best point guard of
Right.
all time as well.
All that
But
So
now
stuff.
he has neither.
who is y'all's most skilled